Welcome to the 404 show, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday, June 19th. I'm Ayaz Akhtar. Jeff isn't in because he's on assignment at E3. If you want to hear his thoughts about it, go check out the Beastcast at giantbomb.com. He's been doing a bunch of great work over there. Today, we've got Bridget Carey joining us. We've also got my son silently sitting in a corner. We'll see how silent he'll be throughout the episode. Bridget, how you doing?
Hey, good to be here.
So you just got back from a jaunt in Disney World, right?
A jaunt.
It was a weekend jaunt.
A little getaway.
Yeah.
I'm a big Disney fan for anyone who's just tuning in to the first time on who I am. And I haven't been in a while being like a year and a half. And so I was really jonesing for another dose, and I definitely got my dose. So I'm in happy spirits.
So how does one take on Disney World in a weekend? From New York, going all the way to Florida, and then like coming back. You were back on Monday, so you were just gone for like 2 days, right?
Yeah, I was back Sunday night. So I'm growing up in Florida. I've done Disney quite a few times, and so I'm not there looking to see everything at Disney World. There's obviously 4 parks. If you were to do all 4 parks in one day, you're only seeing the top rides. But the way I did it, I started my day at 8 a.m. and ended at 2 in the morning. I did 2 parks. They had a Star Wars weekend event, which was pretty cool. You have stormtroopers walking around, Chewie and the gang, and I'm in walking around because they have that, Star Wars ride, Star Tours. And so they kind of really build up and have fans come. People dress up. I mean, we're talking people. It is like, the high 80s. It is really hot, and people are in serious makeup and gowns. And so I applaud them. But we also have the most creative Star Wars t-shirts I've ever seen. Like things you just don't find online. Everyone comes out of the woodwork, all over the world to come to this, couple weekend event and to buy random merchandise and art, and they just bring out their craziest Star Wars t-shirts, like mashups, like what was one of them? Like Darth Vader, looks like he's pumping iron, just weird. I can't even see, I'm stuttering because it's like so much is filling my head at once. I'm like, it's so much amazing, I can't get it out of my lips. But let's just say lots of fun puns. I saw 2 girls do princesses versions of Jedis. So you had the Frozen, Anna and the Rapunzel, but they're Jedi versions. People are just so creative. It's so much fun to be there. And then at night, I just like close the park at 2 in the morning. And the next day, you just kind of relax at the resort. You just chill by the pool, get in that Florida sun, and you're rejuvenated.
I don't know if I need the sun. If on audio, I don't know if you can hear how brown I am, but I'm pretty brown at this time. Nothing to do with the tan. It's just the.
Oh, I don't tan, but I'm just saying, like, there's something about that Orlando air and that special water that you smell in the rides. It's just something you can't get anywhere else.
So I'd seen a bunch of weird mashups when it comes to Disney. I saw I guess it's Disney now, Star Wars. I saw a Hulk Hogan face with a Darth Vader helmet mashup. It was terrifying, but awesome at the same time. It just has like a walrus mustache with that helmet. It says like, I'm your father, brother. I don't know if you're into the pro wrestling anymore, but
it's the mashups that were so much fun. Yes, it's just people have a lot of fun with it, and especially with Disney nerdisms, and put that together with Star Wars nerdisms. Oh, it's just a whole bunch of nerd.
What does a Frozen Jedi look like? Is it like the blue dress with like a brown robe?
It's Elsa, but she just has more of a hoodie. Like they made their own little interpretations of the dress. So so it's more like the Elsa colors, but she's got like a sash to hold her weapons, and it's just more gloves involved, and just looks a little more medieval, perhaps mixed with a hoodie.
So let's switch topics to E3. I don't know. You've been covering it for CNET Update, I'd imagine?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been kind of keeping tabs of it. I know there's no way on earth I'm going to do this justice as compared to Jeff. So again, go check out Beastcast. I've been paying attention, though, because you just can't. I mean, you can't not pay attention to this. You got to know what's going on. Did you see anything or at least read about anything interesting? Because the coolest thing I've seen so far, and this sounds lame, I think, that I'm going to say this, Cuphead.
Yes, that's the only thing that I care about right now. That is amazing.
Okay, so if you haven't seen Cuphead, it looks like a 30s, 40s style animation, Disney animation style when it comes to this game. It looks like cell shaded.
Yes, this is something in the style of the old Betty Boop cartoons, Popeye, and obviously Disney's Silly Symphonies. It's that whole era in the 30s where it was a little more wacky than it is today. And that the trailer that's online for this thing is so wild. It's demented almost. And it's kind of something you haven't seen before.
Yeah, so it's what the two leads, Mughead and Cuphead. I think those are the leads, and they make a deal with the devil or something.
Don't make a deal with the devil.
And they're supposed to go ahead and do what the devil says for like the rest of the game, I assume. So unless they get, I guess, damned.
They are doing the devil's bidding, it sounds like, to win back their souls. And in that, going up against big bosses that are just, these wiggly-armed, crazy-headed skeletons and mermaids and things that you would see in those old cartoons from that era. And, obviously the drawings themselves have been done before, but you just haven't seen that in a video game before. And I think, honestly, when I'm watching E3 and all these trailers, I'm finding boredom in the fact that everything is the end of the world. I mean, the apocalypse is getting mundane. I'm just tired of it. Okay, it looks great. Okay, another way to end of the world. That's so sad. Okay. How many more zombies are you going to get? This is something refreshing.
I think it was No Man's Sky. That looked like it was a little depressing. Sony had that game where you go to these worlds and check it out. It's like, oh, look at this one. And now there are some giant robots trying to stop us because we're not supposed to be here. But then when I saw Cuphead, I was like, this looks like fun, actual fun. My son was watching the trailer, even though that's not advised for children. And he was like, maybe we can get that, because his eyes are super wide and looked like a playable cartoon.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I tried out, I think it was called Dragon's Lair. You ever tried this game?
No.
It was a Laserdisc-based arcade machine, and it had great animated footage. It wasn't like you could really play it so much. You'd pick like, what should the character do, A or B? Because it's a Laserdisc. You just get to choose. It looked beautiful. You thought it'd be a game that you could play as a cartoon. But that didn't really happen. This thing, though, looks just fantastic. Even the silliness when the character just stops and they do that weird little knee jiggle, you know what I'm talking about? When they're kind of floating up and down, which is so indicative of really old cartoons. It's kind of like, oh, look, we're animated. We can move. And you can't tell that I'm moving up and down in the chair, but I am, because that's what it's like. And I really think that's really cool looking.
Oh, that's what I do whenever. It's actually the motion I do, like the little dun 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 dun. Whenever you're just waiting for something or feeling a little kooky, I love those cartoons. Obviously, I'm a Disney fan. I'm a fan of the older stuff. It's why I liked, the Mickey games that kind of brought out Oswald for a little bit, because it kind of played off the weird black and white world of yesteryear. So I'm looking forward to that. Although the thing about E3 is that you see a lot of games that don't even come out this year. It almost takes away some of the fun of like, hey, look, it's coming out sometime in the next 2016 with no date, or all this VR talk and no release date.
Yeah, Cuphead at the end says coming in 1936 or 80 years after.
Right.
So it'll be next year before we see that. But VR was freaking huge. It was everywhere. Microsoft was all over this stuff. They partnered with Oculus and Valve. They're like, yeah, sure, we'll just cover this. And we have HoloLens. So they're like way, way big into VR. What do you think about VR?
From everything I'm reading, I'm not impressed, and I'm kind of bored at this point. They need to stop talking about it unless they're going to show something at this point. For example, reading about the experience on HoloLens. That's the one where like 3D images kind of float in the room around you. They're not allowing any photo or video being taken of the experience, which shows you how they're not ready yet, or they're just trying to, build up hype. But when I read what Scott Stein writes about it and his experience, is that it's still a little weird with the peripheral vision. You have to be straight on looking, although it's cool in concept all the time. You see lots of potential here types of stories, but the price will probably be so high that it'll be a great add-on for a moment in a game, but will it be something that you always want to have on before you get dizzy, or, will you really want to play an entire game that way, or will it be a very expensive accessory for one level?
Yeah, HoloLens is supposed to be a self-contained computer. It's not supposed to necessarily need to be an accessory to something else, so it's got to be expensive. I'm really curious about the battery life. Like, how long can that thing stay on your head and stay cool, first of all? That's got to be tons of processing power when you're moving your head around and there's a virtual giant screen on one side, or you're playing effectively Minecraft. They showed off Minecraft, and I could see that being awesome, especially because I have a tiny apartment and a child who likes toys. I'm like, wow, virtual toys. Now that's a way to go.
Yeah, no, this does seem fun for what it can do, and imagine how it changes playtime. Exactly. You can think about things differently. Things are in the room with you. Your imagination can have some fun with that. I can see that being used in different types of storytelling, but I'm tired of waiting and hearing all this hype. And I just don't think that people are going to probably dish out $500 or more for something like this, because I'm glad they're working on the technology. Thanks for the future that won't be here and realistic for another 4 more years.
Did you try out CNETs? This is not meant to be a plug, but like I tried this out. We had CNET had this VR virtually come to E3 experience shot with this awesome camera. Ashley Skada was on there and giving you kind of a tour. And did you try that thing out?
Yeah, actually, what made it neat and how they filmed this is that you had to turn your head. You had to get involved because you had Ashley on your right, and you had to turn around to like see everyone who's talking because they're not all right in front of you. That was pretty creative, I will say.
Yeah, I worked with Galaxy Gear VR and I think Cardboard, and so I tried it with Gear. And it was the first time I've ever actually used it, which is really weird considering it's like usually about 10 feet from me. I just never bothered. I'm like, hey, I want to try that out. And
well, isn't that the problem with all this? How are you going to get people to be interested in it if we're sitting here with all the tech around us?
Katzmeyer's going around. He's like, hey, does anybody want to try this? And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So he put this, it's very clunky to put on. Just in general, you got to put this like helmet-like kind of thing on. Then you got to put on a different pair of headphones. So you have this weird crisscrossing going on. So it's definitely not elegant in putting on this experience. But once you're in it and just looking around, it's really bizarre because you're sitting in a chair and your first instinct is kind of like, just sit still. And that's not what they want you to do. So in the video, it's really good because you look around, you're like, oh, look, there's Nintendo. You're high up. They took advantage of a lot of the different perspectives you'd get. And I thought it was really cool. And then I let my boy try it out. So he was in the office and they put it on him. And he's like, Dad, where are you? Because you're completely shut out from the outside world. There's no like augmented layer over what's going on. It's completely closed off. I thought like I have set the bar too high. He's going to be 5 in a week or 2, but like he's like, we can do that again. I'm like, I don't know really, because that phone was getting really hot because it's killing the battery of the Note. That's what Katz had. So there's also the bit of screen door effect because the resolution on the screen isn't as high. So it's kind of cool. It's really close to cool, but like I can't see spending, whatever the Oculus Rift is going to cost, like $1,500. That I think is the rumored number. Or whatever computer you need to have that on the side, it has to be pretty beefy to handle that too. Seems like it's a really neat kind of thing, but not like, hey, I got this idea. I'm going to spend either $2,000 on an awesome TV, or I can get a virtual cinema on my face.
Right. You know where this is going to start to like take off? It is with kids, and it's with things like Mattel and how they're working with Google Cardboard and that new type of Viewmaster toy where you could put mom and dad's phone inside and get that quick hit of a 3D moment, but it's not strapped to your head. You have to hold it up, just like that old red Viewmaster little, I guess it's called Viewmaster, right?
Viewmaster.
Yeah. So you have to hold it up and you dip in and you dip out, and it's good for educational moments. And then that'll get the next generation really thinking about it maybe more so. But for now, yeah, making that huge investment and just sitting and watching a whole movie that way or having a long-term experience that way, it's a little expensive.
Yeah, Dan Graziano was telling me about the virtual cinema experience where he gets to see a giant movie, but then he looks down and he has no body. And that kind of freaked him out. And then it's small things like that. You don't even think about, oh yeah, I have a hand that should appear if I wave it to the right. It's gone. You look down, there's no body, and there's nobody else in the theater with you. So do you need to populate that?
Well, the first time I used an Oculus was, of course, they threw at me a scary zombie game. And when it started to eat my face, the first thing I wanted to do was, punch it. So I started kicking and punching. And yeah, that next step is getting our bodies involved and making it feel like we're there because your mind was already starting to think that way.
What else came out? With Microsoft VR, we had Sony showing off very little. Just a couple of remade games. I think Final Fantasy VII. Is that the thing?
I don't know. I think it was 7. I think it was like a lot of nostalgia is being played up. More Star Fox, more Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Nintendo's in a holding pattern. They're like, yeah, we have a new console coming out next year, so here are puppets. And I'm not making that up too. Did you see the puppets?
I did see a little bit of the puppet action. I'm a fan of puppets. I think it was creative. Better than staring at some person in a suit talking. Go ahead, give me puppets.
So Nintendo didn't have a live actual press conference, and I'm being shown right now that my son failed at a level at Star Wars Angry Birds or Angry Birds Star Wars. Sorry, buddy. I can't fix that right now. But anyway, there were these awesome puppets of Mario's creator and the president of Nintendo America and the president of Nintendo Japan. And there's 3 puppets, and they're walking around, and they slowly start taking on these animal-like characteristics. One starts looking more like a fox, and then eventually just full out Star Fox, and you've got do a barrel roll, and that's pretty much the highlight.
I want to do an entire CNET show as Bridget the Muppet. I think I want to take that idea and let's do it. Let's do the 4-4 Muppet style.
That's how the YouTube video should be. And if we do this actually does come out on YouTube. We do audio only. Maybe that's how we do it, is that we just have puppet versions.
You can make your own Muppet. They have this thing at, where is it? The toy store, the really big one.
FAO?
Yeah.
Well, that's closing down.
I know, but they're moving it. But you can make your own Jim Henson Muppet. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but you can make your own. I think I might have to do that. We'll have to have 4 Muppets made and do this Muppet style.
It's odd. I actually know 2 puppet makers, or sort of know 2 puppet makers.
That's amazing. Can we have brunch? I want to meet him up.
Okay, when you go to Atlanta, I'll have an introduction done. We got to take a quick break. We have sponsors today, so let's take a quick break. And when we come back, red cheeseburgers.
Yum.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about that dreaded, awful place called the post office. It's becoming a thing of the past thanks to Stamps.com. So you already know that going into the post office is just a pain, right? You got to find some parking. You got to drive back from there. You've got to deal with all kinds of fun people who you have no idea what they're going to do. Are they going to buy 20 to 30 stamps? Are they going to discuss their life story with the clerk? Who knows what's going on? But here's what you probably didn't know. You're probably paying more for postage there at the post office than you have to. Now, Stamps.com is the better way. Now, did you know from your desk or office that you could print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package, right there from your computer and printer, and then all you got to do is hand that to the mailman because they show up to your place anyway? With Stamps.com, you'll get special postage discounts you can't even get at the post office. You get discounts on first-class mail, priority mail, international, and more, and you'll never have to go back to that awful place called the post office. Stamps.com is absolutely fantastic. I've used it a lot, and for my own sake, I don't have to know where the post office is. I don't want to go into one. I don't have to go into one because I use Stamps.com. Right now, use our promo code CNET for this special offer. That's CNET. It's a no-risk trial. Plus, there's a $110 bonus offer, which includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com. Now, before you do anything else, click on that microphone at the top of the homepage and type in CNET. That's Stamps.com. Enter CNET.
And we're back talking about a red cheeseburger. So if you're thinking about puppets, get that out of your head, unless it's a puppet cheeseburger. Burger King, there's news again about Burger King. They've done a black hamburger before. Now they've done a red cheeseburger. It's called the Aka burger. Aka means red in Japan. I didn't know that. Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. The cheeseburger's got a red cheese, a red bun, red tomatoes, red sauce that BK Japan calls angry sauce. All caps.
Must be spicy.
It's supposed to be like red chilies. Goes on sale July 3rd. You can get a chicken version for about 540 yen or the samurai beef at 690 yen. That's about $4 or $5.
They need to test this in America. We would eat this up. Red? Yes. I'll tell you what. In the past, that black one, what does it do? Subconsciously, you start thinking that thing is rotten and you don't want to eat it. There's some colors you don't want to eat. You don't want to eat blue things. That's why blue M&Ms are kind of rare. There are no blue real foods except for blueberries. So there's some things in your mind that you don't think are appetizing, but red, there's plenty of red foods. We should do it. Everyone loves red things. Oh, I would love to eat this. Now, I'll tell you what is gross. You know those like green milkshakes? I can't get myself to do that. I know it's just food coloring. McDonald's, you're looking at me strange.
I know, but I'm like, why would the green milkshake, which is in a big, not see-through container, bother you?
Well, I'm just saying a green hamburger would look a little weird, but red,
Agreed.
this delicious. Let's do it. Let's do it here. Let's get creative. Let's have a little fun. I'm just saying. I think Japan does some crazy things with their food. This might be the one thing we would do too. We write about it. That means people are interested. That means bring it over here. Let us try it.
I think this is freakish. I can't believe you're so excited about it. You're right about the red food concept that we do have.
The meat isn't colored.
No.
It still looks meat-like.
Doesn't the red cheese throw you off a little bit? That's kind of gross looking. Like it looks like somebody had taken a piece of red plastic, put it on top of a burger. And this is, by the way, we're looking at the press images, which are the ones done by food stylists.
Right.
So I want you to imagine, a cheeseburger that has been squashed and it's red though. It's just kind of.
You know what? Because I'm thinking I've seen cheese have red elements. I'm trying to think of like red
wax around it.
Yeah, like it's kind of.
Were you eating the wax instead? You're supposed to take the wax off the bells.
I'm trying to think of like why I'm not reasons why I'm not appalled by this, and maybe it's just meant to be. Maybe we need.
Oh, no, you're right. I don't think it's not appalling. The black one looks burnt and it looks like something's wrong. Like we're trained to go, no, that's like dirt. You don't want to eat that.
If it's brown, drink it down. If it's black, send it back.
If it's red,
isn't that
go ahead. I think is that
red, go ahead.
Apparently that's the way to go with red. It's you know what? Maybe you've convinced me that it's not such a bad idea. It doesn't look so bad, but what kind of are we ever gonna see these gimmicks out here? We have like Taco Bell just goes all out, right? They're
Well,
like,
chicken fries is kind of a gimmick to me that I can't do it. I can't do it.
what's wrong with chicken fries compared to chicken fingers?
I don't know. I think they're just too much. I don't know. I just rather have the chicken nuggets.
I mean, chicken. Wait a second. Like not chicken McNuggets. You mean regular chicken nuggets?
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about the size of them seems more appetizing than the sticks, but I don't know. What am I talking about? I clearly have issues if I'm being picky over something that is actually just different shaped breaded chicken over a color.
It's just tubular chicken, right?
You know what it is? I'm attracted to weird things on menus sometimes. Like, different color. I mean, the one
I
thing
just had a visual of you like holding up a weird menu and your face is going smack right into it.
No,
It's just attracted to it.
when you're at a restaurant and you see something like snake on the menu or alligator, are you the kind of person who goes, ew, never? Or do you want to try it because it's different?
I don't mind trying it. It just depends on the price. I'm like, am I going to commit to this? And how big is this? Can I try an appetizer version? Because that's fine. But if I have to commit to, this is my entree, and I'm like, I got to eat this, and this is my actual dinner, I'm going to have to commit to it. I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, there is one thing that I can't just stand, and that's ice cream that looks rainbow colored, because I can imagine it's like bubblegum flavored or something. I just can't, like, they always have that Superman, ice cream sometimes where it's like total rainbow. Then it's too much color. Then it's too much for me. And I haven't tried that. Maybe that'll be my next thing I have to try before I have my red burger.
The actual ice cream, not like not the ices or something.
No, I mean, like when you go to like a Haagen-Dazs or Ben & Jerry's, I don't know, there's always that one tub that's like, why are you a rainbow? What flavor are you? I don't want to try you.
You remember when Heinz tried out those weird like those quirky ketchups? They had a blue one, they had a purple one, they had a green one.
Yeah.
And none of those did well because they were like disgusting looking.
Because people, think, like maybe that's a different flavor, I guess.
The green one looked like relish. Looked like not something you want to do.
I've had green ketchup though. I don't think it fazed me. Yeah.
What do you mean it didn't faze you?
I don't know. I was okay with it. Maybe because the relish. I'm really analyzing now my food issues. You're really bringing up some things. That's why I'm pausing a little bit.
I like that you actually thought this through entirely. All I thought was like knee jerk. It's red. That's weird. You're like, no, wait a minute. Red is the natural color, and that's what people eat. It's like she's right. She's right. That's what I used to think about wraps when I was a little kid. I'm like, why are there green wraps? What does that mean? I don't understand. They're spinach wraps. Oh, okay. The red ones are tomato. Okay, that's neat.
People have a thing with candies that they like red more than other colors, or like red M&Ms more, but then they're all the same flavor. That's weird to me.
Oh, yeah, the claim that I can taste the difference between red 40 and yellow, whatever number it is.
That's weird to me. But when it comes to Starbursts and stuff like that, I only like the citrusy ones. I'm the weird one. I never eat the red. I always like the yellow.
You like the yellow ones? I thought nobody liked the yellow ones.
That's why I'm put on this earth, to eat all the yellow candies that you and the rest of society are casting aside unfairly.
For the karmic balance of the universe, Bridget Carey exists. Bless you, Aldrin. Just sneezed. And
I'm basically an old lady who likes lemon candies. What can I say?
Is that why you also have like butterscotches somewhere all the time in your bag? Are they showing up yet?
I did buy some recently.
Really?
They're kind of nice when your throat's a little sore.
I don't know where you even get those little candies, but you know where to get them in the store.
I'll hook you up.
All right, cool. Let's talk about ketchup and porn, because why not? Heinz, the ketchup maker, they're in trouble because of a QR code they had on a bottle of ketchup. So, if you've ever looked at a bottle of ketchup, at least the Heinz one, you might see a QR code. And the thing is, they were running a contest for 2 years, 2012 to 2014. You'd scan the QR code and you could design your own label. So I think either it was a contest or you get to actually make your own. So in Germany, this guy scanned the QR code on the bottle, and instead of being taken to a Heinz site, he was taken to a hardcore porn site owned by Fundorado.
Now, this is in Germany, right? This isn't here. Like, I can't go to the store and get this.
I didn't check. I got to find that part out.
I think it's in Germany.
Is this QR code, region specific or not? Because I would think that if it was just a website, it would just resolve whatever area you were in and go ahead.
Right.
So I don't know the answer to that.
This is an important lesson that you never know what you're going to get with the mysteries, the mysteries of the QR code. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
this is terrible.
So Heinz, they kind of let the registration slip. That was part of the problem here.
So it's a nasty old bottle of ketchup that got scanned. The contest was over.
The contest has been over. The ketchup's been it was made in 2014 or so, and basically it's been sitting around for a while. So the guy just bought it in the store. So Daniel Correll is his name.
How long does ketchup last? That the contest was over.
I would think a while. It's only June.
It lasts a year, so that means that within the year they must have let it expire really quickly.
Well, maybe Daniel bought it at a discount place. Okay, we don't know. We don't know what Daniel did. No offense, Daniel. Maybe you bought it from a store they were just keeping this ketchup. It was on clearance. And you're like, cool, 6 months. I can be done ketchup with 2 days. Then
you deserve to not this horrible surprise, or maybe wonderful surprise. It depends what he likes.
So Heinz is trying to figure out what to do with it. So they decided that they will let Corral create his own label and send him a free bottle printed with his design. Do you think that's enough for him? Do you think that's what he should?
I would design a bottle that has some implications of what you saw on the porn site.
He's mildly offended.
If you have the power to design a bottle after something like that happens to you, I'd make it definitely titillating.
It's just the label he's designing, not the actual bottle shape. You've got you got some mold ideas. By mold, I meant plastic molds, not the horrible.
Not a green ketchup.
Right, not a green. Yeah, he can't do that. And here's the fun thing: Fundorado offered him a 1-year subscription to Fundorado.
Oh, jeez.
Well, he wins on all counts here. He gets 1 free year of porn. He gets 1 customized bottle of ketchup. And what did he have to lose here?
All kinds of condiments related jokes are coming into my head.
We won't touch those at all. So let's talk about drinking, because I likes to drink. I saw this Kickstarter. We had it on CNET. It was something called Bartesian, and it makes making cocktails as easy as those K-cup things for coffee.
Yeah.
So the machine you would provide the alcohol. So it'd be gin, vodka, tequila, and the 4th one, rum. And what these guys actually give you, these little packets. Now the packets aren't little flavored packets of powder or anything. They're actually the liquid-based ingredients that you'd have for cocktails.
So you could pop them open and probably just shoot them back. It's not missing water or anything, or?
Well, the actual pods are not alcoholic.
Oh.
You have to provide the alcohol.
Okay.
So it's basically every other ingredient for this. So the machine looks like a weird, scientific K-cup meets some kind of beaker kind of system there. And what it lets you do is it looks
like a coffee maker, yeah.
Pretty much. You put it in, and it actually can read the barcode to tell you, oh, by the way, you're making a Cosmopolitan. So the machine itself will take the right amount of alcohol, mix it in with the pod, and just dispense it into whatever container you want.
So you have to pour in your vodka, and then what does the pod do?
Okay, so you have 4 containers surrounding the actual machine. So you got the machine, and just think of a K-cup machine. Mm-hmm. So on the left and right, you've got 2 separate containers holding gin, vodka, tequila, and rum. So what it does is it just pulls the actual alcohol out of the appropriate bin.
Okay, gotcha. And so, all right. So then, but I don't get the pod part still. So all right, it's gonna suck up whatever the 4 alcohols already loaded it up with. But what is the pods for flavoring? They give you the strawberry flavor or something? Or?
Yeah, so like a Sex on the Beach here, vodka. So it'll take the vodka from your own stash there. But in the pod, you'll have peach schnapps, cranberry juice, and pineapple juice. So you don't have to go out and buy those actual things. Oh. It'll have just the right amount. So you just pop it in, make your 1 drink.
But the pods themselves, are they alcoholic?
They don't appear to be.
Okay, see, that's how they get around who they sell it to and the rights to sell it. You on your own have to do the main containers. Okay, all right, I'm following.
I kind of like this thing because
it's not going to taste as good.
Well, they claim that it's supposed to, because they had they have a bunch of research involved and a mixologist who helped make the pods. She claims that the drinks will be as if she made them. Now, there's no actual credentials to her in the Kickstarter video saying she's a world-renowned mixologist or mildly popular, or if she even works anywhere as a mixologist. It just says that she is a mixologist, and these are the drinks that she'd make for you.
All right. Well, that is kind of interesting, but I have heard that others are kind of making this. I mean, I think the K-Cup folks are even looking into this from things I've read.
That's right.
So I guess now your picky guests can pick their own concoctions based on instead of just going with whatever you have. You can be like, all right, do you want this? Do you want that? And they can do their own. It seems novelty fun for a party, but there's something about mixing your own drinks that's kind of fun too. I don't know. It might be pretty expensive, I'm saying, considering just the novelty factor.
It's $250 if you get it as a Kickstarter, and after Kickstarter, it's going to cost $400. At that point, you could probably hire a bartender for the day.
For the night, yeah, which is more impressive. And you'll get your little umbrellas too on the
Yeah, and it's going to taste like a mixologist made it because you have a bartender with you for at least that one night. But I think it's an interesting idea. I could see this kind of thing taking off. I could see it like at hotels or something, like you have to pay a couple bucks, like, okay, fine, here you go. Or you have like the most inept bartenders somewhere. You're like, okay, I don't know how to make the drink. I'll just go to the machine and then I'll bring you your martini because I don't know anything. Just imagine some kid who knows nothing going, I'll be right back. And then here's your martini, sir. And you're like, thanks, kid. This isn't bad. It tastes like a machine made it.
Oh man, we're losing the art form. There's an art to this. It's all machines are going to be doing everything, including getting us drunk for their eventual takeover.
Well, there are those wine machines. They just dispense one glass at a time.
I'm looking forward to when the kind of soda stream type bubble, the carbonating machines can do that with alcohol because they're working with that. Right now it's only water for soda stream, but they'll be able to refizz your wine. I mean, now that is something I pay for because I can do water, I can do juice, and then I can refizz my wine and keep the party going.
On that note, we're going to take another break. We got another sponsor. We'll be right back. And don't go away.
So if you already have a car, there's a good chance you can make some extra money on it without even selling the thing. We all know that cars' values depreciate like crazy. You take it off the lot, it loses 10%. Over a year, it loses 20% of its value. Now, how could you make some extra money? Well, you don't have to even figure that out. Relay Rides has it all figured out for you because Relay Rides is a peer-to-peer car rental company. It's part of that sharing economy you've heard about, kind of like Airbnb and Uber. What you get to do is rent out your car on Relay Rides and earn as much as $1,000 per month. So you got this car that needs maintenance anyway. You got this car just sitting in the driveway, losing value, but you could earn extra money. Some owners earn as much as $6,000 per month. Now, what about the people who are going to drive your car? Don't worry about that. Relay Rides pre-screens each renter and provides car owners with $1 million of insurance coverage with no out-of-pocket expenses to you, so you don't have to worry. You control when your car is available for rent, by the way. So it's not like people are going to be calling you up randomly at night saying, hey, I need a car. You're like, no, don't worry about that. You control when your car is available. There's a lot of people out there doing this. They're becoming entrepreneurs just by owning cars. You could turn your idle car into extra money. You can sign up free right now at relayrides.com/404. That's RELAYRIDES.com/404, like the show you're listening to. This is a special offer for the 404 show listeners. You guys, dig this. Earn an extra $100 when you sign up today when you go to relayrides.com/404. Now, back to our show.
And we're back, and we're going to take a look at the Reddit because I actually bothered to put up a show thread saying Bridget Carey is going to be on. What do you want to ask her? What's going on? It says, send in your questions about tech or Disney or Florida or a fourth thing.
Did anyone have questions for me or no?
They did, actually.
Really?
So let's ask you this. K-Mac wrote in and wrote, which Disney princess does Bridget most associate with?
Well, I've been told I look a lot like Rapunzel from the recent movie because, just kind of like facially. This is a really personally tough question because at times, I'm the spirit of Ariel, or maybe I look more like Sleepy Beauty. I actually walk around the park with a Sleeping Beauty crown, and it's kind of amazing because everyone has to bow to you when they work there.
Oh, at Disney World.
Yeah.
I'm like at Central or like Madison Square Park. Which park are you going to wearing a crown? And are they doing that?
It's a thing now. No, actually, you probably could have. No one would even look twice.
Right. That's why I was like, how are you? Wow, that's pretty impressive.
But that that is tough because it depends on your mood. Everyone has a different mood. Oh, but I'm going to say, at least in terms of dressing up, I have dressed up as Aurora, and I love the Little Mermaid. I love Ariel, and I think my next one I have to dress up as is Tangled, is Rapunzel.
Which one is Aurora?
Sleeping Beauty.
That's her name?
Yes, or she also went by Briar Rose when she was, not knowing she was a princess, hiding in the forest when Prince Philip came by.
I didn't know they had names. I don't know why. Probably because I haven't bothered to watch them again.
It's the princes that sometimes don't have names. It's the princes who kind of get, in the old ones. Like Snow White was just Prince, and then there's Prince Charming, which is Cinderella, and then later on they started actually giving them names.
So they were just as interchangeable as anybody else.
Yes.
They're like, yeah, you seem you're the prince right now. Yeah, you're still the prince or whatever.
Actually, if you ever read the comics, the Fable comics, they actually play off that there's this one player prince who got around and cheated on all of them, and he was just the prince, and it was pretty funny stuff.
Another question from Mary Poppin' a Cap: is the 60th anniversary all hype?
Oh, you're talking about Disneyland. I have never been to Disneyland. And that was one thing on my list. It's on my list to go to all the worlds. Growing up in Florida, I love Disney World the most. So I know Disneyland's doing this big 60th thing. They got like they make it all sparkly extra on the castle, and they got some extra things you can buy. I always love extra merchandise. So I really can't answer about the hype or not because I haven't been there. I went to Florida. The coolest thing about Florida's anniversary a while back is they made the castle a giant cake. Do you remember that?
It was all pink. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a giant, like almost bounce house type balloon around the whole thing.
It's amazing what they can do to that park and just turn it around. It's not like you ever notice, oh, by the way, that's off limits, and they're scaffolding up for like 2 years. If you walk around New York City, you're like, how long has the scaffolding been up? And then when it disappears, you're really confused.
Yeah.
But out in Disney World, it's like it's up and done within a couple of minutes.
Well, actually, right now they're expanding the castle in Florida, and what they're doing is adding extra tower pillars around it, and to hide it, their scaffolding, so to speak, their little wall is a painted on tree that looks like other trees. So with a quick glance, it's not, harsh to the eyes. I think what's most amazing about Florida is that they built extra castles in the past year or two. So now you walk around and you don't just see Cinderella's castle, but you see Belle's castle. You see the tower from Rapunzel, depending on where you're looking. And you see Ariel's castle. It's so magically making me all worked up now.
Wouldn't her castle be under the sea? Or is
it's Prince Eric's castle. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's hers now.
Okay. I've never seen Little Mermaid. You know that?
Oh.
I've never seen it.
It's one of the classics.
I heard it doesn't make any sense though.
What?
Like she gives up her power of speech just to talk.
Listen, she's 16 and she got this big bossy lady, kind of working her magic and she's very convincing, all right? Saying that you got your body language, you can work it, girl, you can get your true love, do it. And you're 16, you're not making the best decisions when your only advice is coming from a little flounder fish and some crab, so yeah, she thinks she knows it all.
Sounds like because it's a teenager involved. Okay.
Yeah.
How old is the prince then?
Oh, probably not 16.
Oh boy, that's a little bit more.
I don't know if they ever say. I mean, she actually says in her song, I'm 16 and da da da. I mean, a lot of the princesses are a little young,
Are fish years like dog years? Do you age faster I guess a mer person? Excuse me.
Well, no exposure to the sun. She probably had great skin. Oh,
but it's really, really like pruny.
Yes.
Really, really gross. I don't know if that's gonna work. I'm gonna have to watch this movie so I have knowledge about this. I don't know when people have time to do all this stuff though. So I don't understand. Like,
well, you have a kid. This is the time to get into all the Disney movies, but not look dorky that you're doing it on your own. You're really just doing it to widen his world. It's good for boys to watch princess movies.
I didn't say it's not. It's more like I'm not a big fan of musicals, which is a problem. Like
but Alan Menken, who has done all the best musicals, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, he's the one who was called back in to do the Enchanted movie. Have you seen that? It parodies all of them.
I have not seen that.
That is the best music for Disney. I got in this argument the other day with what one Disney movie would you show to someone who's never seen a Disney movie, and you have to do one of the great musicals like Beauty and the Beast to really represent it for the first time person, I think, compared to maybe some of the older ones. Sorry. Getting so deep, we can have a whole podcast on that.
Don't worry,
I'm going to back it up.
There's still more Disney questions. Alviator.
Keep them coming.
Alviator. Hey, Bridget, Disney just released an Oculus app that lets you walk around and explore any world in any of their movies, but You have to listen to Let It Go over and over again. Would you do it?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Edit. Oh, which movie or world will you visit first?
I actually spent some time at the park looking at the animation cells this time of all the artwork that they do in these movies. It's
Cool.
so amazing, the time that they spend on getting the worlds right. I think, I mean, you have your fantasy choices like the Little Mermaid and the world that they created under there, or you have like all the streets and towns that they built with every brick of like Beauty and the Beast. I think I'd have to go. Oh, that's hard. I think there's so much beauty in all the worlds, but I would want to walk around the streets with Belle and do the whole bonjour and get some, like the whole little town in the morning when they wake up. I think that'd be cute.
What about, does Roger Rabbit count at all in this?
Roger Rabbit?
Yeah. I mean, technically,
Yes, let's go to Toontown.
that I think
Oh
would be
my
way more
God.
fun.
That's brilliant.
I want to go to Toontown.
Oh man, let's do it.
Because you get everybody from like every world. And like, I remember that was a cross-licensing nightmare. Because I'm like, Bugs Bunny's going to be the same cartoon as Mickey Mouse.
I love that movie.
Like, that
Let's
could
do
work.
it.
And
Although you got to be careful, you don't want a piano falling on your head, but
well, it's a virtual thing. So even if you die, I guess you respawn somewhere else,
respawn.
right? You have to respawn at some point.
Oh, let's do it.
But yeah, Toontown, I think, was coming into Disney World at some point when I was like visiting as a kid. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's going to be like. I really want to see this. I really want to see this. Really want to see this. But yeah, that would be where I would go. But let it go over and over again. I have nieces, and I've heard that song over and over and over and over again. I think
You can condition yourself to be okay, not go crazy. I think maybe I've listened to so many musicals in my life that I'm okay and I can handle it. I can take it. I've been when you're in line for something like a Peter Pan ride where
my
it goes
gosh.
over and over and over again.
the worst one. It's a small world. Being in that line, can you survive that? I mean, nowadays it's totally different. You can have earbuds in, you can like have giant headphones on, or you
Well,
can
with the workers, I think they make them shift in different places so they don't personally go cuckoo by just listening to it over and over again. I think they like shift how they, they go, how many in your party? How many in your party? I think those folks have to move around so they don't go bonkers.
this isn't a question. The Flying Donkey 04 just gave us a link, and it's to a CNET article. Right-handed or left-handed kangaroos actually have a preference, saying that a lot of kangaroos are left-handed. So I guess he wants us, or she wants us to discuss this. One, did you think the kangaroos had a preference on what hand to go with? And two, does this surprise you?
I've seen the boxing kangaroos. I mean, gosh, remember?
Did they seem like southpaws to you?
Well, that is very funny. I gotta give. I can't beat that. I can't beat that.
That one-
you win.
I'm sorry. I was laughing at that myself off mic. I'm like, that was not intentional, but it was there. But yeah, apparently kangaroos have a preference. We'll have links to this, and I'll actually put links at the blog post.
Have you seen that like really beefy kangaroo on YouTube that's kind of went viral?
The one that looks like the Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that thing.
Yeah.
That's frightening.
He's cool.
You want to hang out with them.
I do.
That's good. And lastly, Flying Donkey 04 also sent this in. Since Jeff is away, tell us something about Jeff, something that Jeff doesn't want us to know.
I don't know him that well. I don't know his secrets. I don't know. What do you know about him?
What I know about him is that he's over 8 feet tall. I know the weird thing is there's a lot of forced perspective done when it comes to Jeff, and everyone thinks he's like a normal height person, and like he's just this kind of low-key guy. He's 8 feet tall, fires lightning out of his eyes. His hair is as red as a fire, like the sun with a perfect kind of filter. It's true. It's very true.
If you hear it on the internet, it must be true.
It's got to be true, and that's what you're hearing it here first if you've never heard this. And if you just come into the CNET office, you can't help but like stare at Jeff because he's just there, just gigantic Jeff. That's what we call him around the office, gigantic Jeff. That's why he's on the Beast Cast. It's named after him.
One of these days, one thing about Jeff is that I can't get him. I can't tempt him to eat all the terrible food I bring into the office or any snacks. He has a willpower of a champion.
You brought in like Goofy Taffy, didn't you?
I bring in Goofy Tat. Well, he was gone this week, but I mean, like I'll order.
That's willpower.
I'll order in pizza or whatever it is. There's cookies. There's donuts. There's always something, and he has the willpower.
I don't know how he does it.
of a lantern.
That's
I
why
think.
he's a giant. See?
Yeah.
He's got willpower of a giant. I think that's gonna do it for us. You can follow Bridget on Twitter. Where can we follow you? Is it /Bridget Carey?
It's I keep it easy. /Bridget Carey.
Where else could they find you on the internets?
On the Instagrams, Bridget Happens is my handle on Instagram.
That's a great handle.
It happened. Bridget Happens. And Twitter mostly. I'm not on like I try to be on Snapchat too. That one's Bridgetology, but I find that there's so many networks, you don't have a lot of time. So when I do post, it's usually like a gem once a week or once every 2 weeks. But
Are you on Ello? We're like 404 is huge on Ello. I'm making that up entirely, but we talk about Ello a lot for some reason. But no,
yeah, well, I was just to check it out, but who is
I think
really?
I'm technically on Ello.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get my username.
I hear a lot of like design folks sometimes go to that, or like a certain. I bet you there is a certain click on Ello, but not my click.
Well, you guys can call us 866-404-CNET. You can email us the 404 at CNET.com. You can go to Facebook or Twitter, or you could join the very, very public hatred of me on Reddit, which is awesome. The 404.reddit.com, and I'm like, wow, guys. You guys don't like me, some of you guys. And I say to you, you didn't hear this episode, so you missed a good one. We had Bridget on. She's freaking awesome. So thank you, Bridget, for being here. And
Thank you, guys.
We'll be here next week. Until next time, we'll see you soon. I'm Ayaz Akhtar.
And I'm Bridget Carey.
This has been the 404 Show. High tech, low brow. Have a great weekend and the rest of your week.
No. Bye.